I used to joke that the only mistress my husband would ever have was Bitcoin. So, when Chase started spending late nights on his laptop whispering sweet nothings to his crypto wallet, I didn't flinch. I thought I was being the cool, supportive wife. You know the type. Let him have his hobby, it keeps him out of trouble. Turns out, trouble was already inside our Wi-Fi network. Literally, hiding behind encrypted keys and pixelated assets. Looking back now, I realize how many red flags I ignored. We met 7 years ago at a friend's engagement party, classic wine and cheese thing in a cramped Manhattan apartment. He was the charming finance bro who had just discovered blockchain, and I was the burnt-out social media manager still editing TikToks at midnight. I fell for his confidence, his vision, and that stupid leather bracelet he wore like a talisman for tech bros. He told me I grounded him. I told him he lit me up. The first few years were magic. Trips to Costa Rica, movie marathons with spreadsheets open in the background, because, of course, he was tracking altcoin trends. We bought a fixer-upper in Jersey and turned the guest room into a podcast studio he never used. I built my freelance business. He built portfolios. We built a life, or so I thought. Then came the crash. Not ours, not yet. I mean the market crash, the one where Bitcoin dipped below $30K and every guy in a Patagonia vest cried into their standing desk. Chase acted like someone had died. He was moody, silent. I made banana bread, lit candles, rubbed his shoulders, told him, "We'll bounce back." But that bounce never came. He became more withdrawn. He started locking his screen every time I walked into the room. And the money? Oh, the money. I'd ask about the rent being late, the joint savings dipping below $500, and he'd wave it off like, "Don't worry, babe, it's just the market doing its thing." Except its thing was apparently draining us dry. I should have seen it coming when he started referring to the crypto wallet like it was a person. "She's temperamental today," he'd joke, "but she's got promise." It wasn't cute. It wasn't funny. But I laughed because that's what you do when you're trying not to rock the boat in a storm you don't even know you're in. One night, I couldn't sleep. He was snoring beside me, phone still lit up in his hand, thumb hovering over some chat window. I nudged him gently and whispered, "You fell asleep scrolling again," but he didn't stir. I took the phone to plug it in. That's when I saw the notifications. Airdrops, NFT sales, direct messages from Blush Pixie Eth. At first, I thought it was spam, some crypto influencer or meme account. But then I opened his MetaMask wallet. I knew the password. Of course I did. We had set it up together over wine and sushi 2 years ago. Back then, it was just a quirky experiment. Let's buy digital land. But now it was a vault of secrets. And sitting in a private folder named Art Study 1 was a collection of NFTs unlike any I'd ever seen. Not landscapes, not apes, not pixelated cats. These were high-resolution, tastefully lit nude photos of our neighbor. Emily. Let me say that again. Emily. The Pilates instructor next door with the perpetual tan and the laugh that sounded like she practiced it for Instagram reels. The same woman who brought us banana, muffins every Sunday and borrowed sugar she didn't need. The same Emily who once asked me if Chase could help her understand crypto. Apparently, he gave her a full-body tutorial. I didn't cry right away. I didn't scream. I just stared at the screen for what felt like hours. My mouth was dry. My hands were shaking. I clicked through metadata, scanned transaction histories, tried to make it make sense. Each image had a price tag. Some had offers. One had been resold. My husband wasn't just cheating. He was investing in it. The next morning, I played it cool, made him coffee, kissed his cheek, asked about his day. Inside, I was on fire. A quiet, calculated fire. The kind that doesn't burn the house down, it redesigns the entire floor plan. I needed a plan. I couldn't confront him yet, not until I knew everything, not until I had enough evidence to blow up his narrative. So for the next week, I became a crypto sleuth. I watched his wallet. I followed every transaction. I joined NFT Discord servers under fake names. I Googled art styles, traced usernames, found an entire micro-community that worshipped Emily Nude .01 like it was the Mona Lisa. Meanwhile, Chase kept lying, blamming inflation, blamming market volatility, blamming gas fees, every excuse in the book. One night he said, "I might have to liquidate some assets, babe, just until Ethereum rebounds." I nodded, smiled, handed him his drink. The same hand that would later click download on all 46 images he thought were locked forever in his private chain. Oh, I had plans. But that's for later. First, I had to survive the unraveling. The dinners where he pretended everything was fine. The texts from Emily that I intercepted on his smartwatch. The fake laughter over fake conversations while I built a digital revenge plan right under his nose. Looking back now, I wonder what hurt more, the betrayal itself or how easily he assumed I'd never figure it out. I wasn't the fool he married. And soon, he was going to learn that blockchains aren't the only things that leave a permanent record. I didn't burn the house down. I built a digital bonfire instead. The day after I uncovered Chase's little NFT art gallery, I did what any modern woman scorned would do. I poured myself a venti cold brew, opened my laptop, and Googled how to mint NFTs anonymously. It's ridiculous how easy it is. There's this poetic justice to it. He used the blockchain to cheat, I'd use it to expose. While he slept in the room we once called ours, I sat in my office uploading every screenshot I had, his DMs to Emily, the Ethereum transfers labeled with little heart emojis, one even tagged for you red heart. I packaged them all into sleek black and white JPEGs with bold captions like, Web3 wife material, and loyalty not found. By the end of the day, I had 10 of them minted as a collection, lies on the ledger. I listed them for 0.1 ETH each. They sold out in 4 hours. Turns out, crypto bros love drama, especially when it involves one of their own getting nuked in public. To be clear, I didn't use his name. No doxing, just enough breadcrumbs for the right people to figure it out. And they did. Oh, they did. One Reddit thread titled, "Did a wife just nuke her husband on OpenSea?" hit 12K upvotes in 6 hours. Someone even cross-posted it to R Crypto and RAMI the asshole. Spoiler, I was not the asshole. While the internet caught fire, Chase was too busy watching charts and reheating frozen burritos to notice the storm brewing. I played my part perfectly. I even asked him if we could go out on a date night that weekend just to reconnect. He said he was too emotionally drained from the market. Classic. But karma doesn't wait for gas fees to clear. The morning it all blew up, I was slicing strawberries for my protein smoothie when I heard a choked sound from the living room. Then silence. Then the slow, cautious shuffle of socked feet approaching. He walked in pale, jaw clenched, phone in his hand like it had just betrayed him, which, to be fair, it had. "You made NFTs," he said, voice trembling. I didn't even look up. "Morning to you too." I mean, seriously, this is insane. People are messaging me. My coworker sent me a screenshot. What the hell is this? I turned, finally meeting his eyes. "Oh, you mean the collection featuring your digital love letters and the payments to Blush Pixie? That one." He blinked. I held up my phone. "Want me to show you your thanks for the peach emoji? You deserve a raise face blowing a kiss transfer." His mouth opened, then closed. "You went through my wallet," he finally said. I laughed loudly. "You mean the one that funds our rent, our life, the one tied to our joint account?" He tried again, fumbling for some moral ground. "That was private." "No," I cut in. "You know what's private? The vows we made. The kid you said we'd have next year. The future you apparently mortgaged for some pixel porn of Emily's arched back and fake coy face." He paled even further. "It's not what you think." "Oh my God, Chase," I snapped. "That line should be tattooed on your forehead." He tried to speak again, but I was already walking out. Not away from him, into the other room. That's where I'd set up the new wallet, the one I'd been quietly transferring funds into from the NFT sales. the one under my name only. And that's where the email from my lawyer was sitting, confirming the retainer, paid in full, in ETH. His ETH. Later that night, I sat on the back patio, sipping wine under the fairy lights I'd strung last spring. Chase was packing inside like a trapped animal, probably wondering what the hell had just happened. I didn't care. I felt clear for the first time in months. I posted a photo to Instagram, just a shot of my wine glass and the twinkle lights. Captioned, "Some losses are actually wins in disguise." 2 minutes later, Emily unfollowed me. I guess the message landed. The next day, I packed my things and moved into a friend's guest house. Chase tried calling, then texting, then emailing. All I responded with was the OpenSea link to Lies on the Ledger and a little note. "Let me know if you'd like to purchase the full collection. Prices are going up." And they did. By the end of the week, the resale value tripled. Apparently, people love collectibles with a story, and mine was better than any JPEG monkey with a sailor hat. But that's not even the best part. Because while Chase was spiraling, begging for forgiveness, asking for a reset, I was working on the sequel. A new collection, Proof of Cheat. It had nothing to do with him directly. But it was inspired by him. Stories of betrayal made anonymous, minted as art, each with its own catharsis, each curated by women like me, real stories, real hurt, real fire. I started getting DMs. Women thanking me, sharing their own NFT revenge tales. Someone even pitched a documentary. I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. Looking back now, I don't think Chase ever expected me to fight fire with fire. He thought I'd cry, maybe throw things, beg him to stay. But I was too busy being my own damn blockchain. And baby, I'll never crash again. I didn't think it would go viral. Honestly, I thought it'd be a petty little gotcha moment, something to scream into the blockchain void and feel a flicker of revenge. But within 72 hours, I had 84 DMs, 3 podcast invites, and a crypto influencer named at Wallet Daddy asking if I'd like to do a Twitter space titled Crypto, Cheating, and Consequences. I didn't reply, because I was busy editing my second drop. The first collection, Lies on the Ledger, was personal. Proof, explicit, it was me ripping the bandage off and showing the wound. But this new one, Proof of Cheat, was collaborative. It wasn't just my story anymore. I invited other women to anonymously submit screenshots of their own betrayals. Cash apps labeled breakfast plus her smile, Uber receipts to motels, LinkedIn messages that started with "so great seeing you" at the off-site face blowing a kiss. I curated 10 of them, each minted with blurred names and stylized overlays, pink neon, glitch effects, pixelated tears. I included mine too, of course. But I wasn't the star this time. And the thing is, people loved it. Women wrote essays in the comments under the listings. Threads on X, Twitter, but it'll always be Twitter to me, went wild. One guy tried to mansplain how I was weaponizing the blockchain and instantly got ratioed by a PhD in feminist media studies who called it digitized protest art. Imagine explaining that to Chase. He still didn't know I had full access to our shared crypto wallets. The man never changed his passwords. He was too confident, too lazy, too convinced I was just into Pinterest and meal prepping. Oh honey, Pinterest taught me how to stage a takedown. But let's rewind for a sec. The week after I moved out was weird, emotionally weird. It wasn't just the betrayal. It was the silence, the absence of his sandals by the door. The way I no longer had to mute myself on Zoom in case he barged in to rant about gas fees or Coinbase glitches. It was peaceful, but haunted. I missed the idea of what we had. Movie nights, stupid Trader Joe's runs, the way we used to joke about baby names during road trips. Looking back now, I see how much of it was illusion, or worse, effort I made alone. He never planned the date nights, never ordered the groceries. He just showed up, took the credit, and occasionally brought home wine when he felt guilty about something. And don't even get me started on that DNA ancestry kit he gave me last Christmas. Now I know it was his way of testing our son's paternity. Spoiler, our son is his. But that wasn't the only surprise. Because the company emailed me with a "we found a DNA match" message, and I, thinking it was maybe a cousin, clicked. It was a teenage girl. Same city, no known relatives. And her bio: just looking for my birth father, no expectations. My stomach dropped. So that's where the rest of the missing Eth went. He wasn't just cheating. He had a child, born years before we even met. And he never told me. I stared at the screen for what felt like hours. Then I did something completely unplanned. I messaged her. I said, "I think I know who your father is, and I think he owes you more than an explanation." Her name was Bella. She was kind, painfully polite, and way too calm for what I had just dropped on her. She said she'd always suspected that her mom used to refer to an ambitious jerk with crypto dreams and a BMW he couldn't afford. I asked if she wanted to meet. She said yes. We met at a coffee shop near UCLA. She was smart, funny, and had his exact nose. There was no denying it. She didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for drama. All she said was, "He can pretend he doesn't know me, but I'm not invisible anymore." And I swear to God, I teared up. We ended up talking for 3 hours, about books, life, regret, and revenge. Which is when she gave me the idea. "What if you turn this into a series?" she said. "NFTs that aren't just receipts, they're warnings, digital cautionary tales." I blinked. She shrugged. "People collect scandal, why not make it beautiful?" And that's how Doc's Darlings was born. Each one was a story, a vibe, a digital middle finger to liars, gaslighters, and cowards, stylized in vaporwave colors with audio snippets and blurred-out receipts. We weren't just healing. We were monetizing. And the kicker: all profits went to a legal aid fund for women going through divorce. Yes, including mine. Because I had officially filed the week after meeting Bella. I served Chase the papers via NFT. Literally. He received a token titled, "Final Block Confirmed." The metadata held the scan petition. He messaged me furious, "You made my divorce public." I replied, "No, Chase, you made it public, I just minted it." He didn't respond. But Emily did. She messaged me on Instagram from a burner account, "You didn't have to destroy him like this." I didn't reply. Instead, I posted a boomerang of me clinking wine glasses with Bella. Caption: "Brunch with the only woman in his life who didn't lie." The comments exploded. One said, "You're the main character in a crypto soap opera, and I'm here for it." Another, "This is why men fear women with Canva and stable Wi-Fi." But the one that stayed with me. A DM from a woman in Texas: "I used to think I was powerless. Now I know I just needed better tools." Looking back now, maybe that's what this whole thing was about. Not just revenge. Not just receipts. But taking control. And turning heartbreak into a portfolio. People always ask me when the real healing started. Was it when I served Chase the papers? When I met Bella? When I minted the first NFT? None of those. It was when I logged into our joint Fidelity account and moved every single dollar into a secure trust under my name and my son's. Let me be clear, this wasn't theft, it was self-defense. Chase had moved almost all our liquid assets into crypto over the past year, saying it was diversifying our portfolio and getting ahead of inflation. Cute, right? Turns out diversifying meant pouring cash into degenerate meme coins and nudie NFTs of women I knew, including my yoga instructor, which thankfully I found out after I canceled the family membership. He didn't think I'd notice because I never cared about numbers. Which is hilarious because I run analytics for a living. Numbers are literally my job. He underestimated me, again. The trust was airtight. I had a lawyer review it 3 times. Everything was documented. Emails, transfers, screenshots, my spreadsheets color-coded by Betrayal. Bella helped me name the folders. One was titled, Defy and Deceit. Another, Gas Fees for Your Guilt. We laughed about it over boba and Canva templates. She started staying over some weekends, crashing in the guest room with her laptop and ideas. We brainstormed drops, TikToks, and campaigns. She helped me build the It Burned by Blockchain page on Instagram. Within a week, we had 30K followers. Women were tagging their exes in comments. Men were threatening lawsuits they'd never win. Chase, he was spiraling. He emailed me at 2:14 a.m. one night. Subject, you're making a joke of our marriage. Body, congrats on humiliating the father of your child. I replied 14 hours later with, subject, correction. Body, you humiliated yourself. I just added music and lighting. No response. A few days later, I got a call from his boss. Apparently, someone had sent HR a link to one of the NFTs where Chase's flirty messages overlapped with time-stamped Slack screenshots. Oops. I denied involvement, officially. Unofficially, Karma's got a clipboard and I gave her receipts. He was placed on leave, pending review of professional conduct. And while he panicked, I thrived. I rented a new condo downtown, nothing flashy, but filled with light. I got my own Nespresso machine, painted the office mint green, and bought a whiteboard just for sarcastic post-it notes. First one said, in case of emergency, blame gas fees. I started sleeping better. I started laughing more. I even started dating again, very, very carefully. I wasn't looking for forever, just for reminders that I still had spark, that I wasn't just someone's plan B or life admin. One guy I met, Jason, was sweet, soft-spoken, taught high school lit and quoted The Great Gatsby like it was scripture. He brought me paperbacks instead of flowers. He didn't ask about NFTs. Didn't ask about Chase. He just listened. On our 3rd date, we talked about love languages. I said mine used to be acts of service, but now it was proof of honesty. He nodded, mine's transparency. I laughed, oh God, triggered. He apologized, smiling. Okay, maybe honesty, without the Google Docs. It was nice. I still didn't know what I wanted long-term, but I knew what I didn't want. I didn't want secrets, or apologies with expiration dates, or men who needed a ledger to decide if they wanted to stay. Meanwhile, Chase was unraveling. He posted a thread on X titled, When Cancel Culture Comes for Your Marriage. It flopped. 6 likes, 2 quote tweets calling him a Web3 wife guy who got ratioed by his own receipts. I didn't reply, I didn't even watch. I just kept building. Bella and I launched a podcast, Burn Wallet, 1st episode, Gaslight Gatekeep Girlboss the Blockchain. It topped the new relationship category within a week. Our DMs exploded again. Not just women, but men too. One wrote, I cheated, I was the chase, I deserved worse. Thank you for making me see it. Another, I can't believe I was mad at my wife for tracking our spending. She was the only one who knew where anything was. It didn't fix the past, but it helped. It reminded me I wasn't alone. That pain doesn't have to sit quietly in the dark. It can shout. It can stream. It can mint. Looking back now, I don't think Chase ever planned to leave. He wanted to be caught just enough to feel guilty, not enough to face consequences. He underestimated me. He forgot I had access to the finances, to the footage, and to the truth. I remember the last message he sent before I blocked him. You were always so dramatic. And you know what? Maybe I am. But drama's what gets remembered. And he's just another burnt wallet in the chain. I used to think revenge looked like screaming in someone's face. throwing their clothes out the window, keying their Tesla, calling their mom. Turns out revenge can look like receipts with cover art, filed under a catchy name, with music and royalties. The NFT series called Proof of Exit was our biggest drop yet. Each image was a screen grab of Chase's DMs, stylized like vintage breakup letters. One of them literally started with, "Hey, can I trust you to delete this?" Spoiler, she didn't. They sold out in 7 hours. Bella cried. I laughed so hard I choked on wine and had to Google, "Can Sauvignon Blanc go up your nose?" We weren't just making money. We were archiving Betrayal. And people responded. A journalist from BuzzFeed messaged me. "Hey, love your project. Would you be open to sharing your story anonymously for a piece on digital divorce? We're looking at how NFTs are being used in modern relationship fallouts." At first, I hesitated. But then I thought about Chase's smirk when he used to tell his buddies, "She doesn't even know how MetaMask works." And I said yes. The piece went viral. It was titled, "Crypto Widow Rewrites the Rules of Revenge." They blurred my face in the photos, used the pseudonym Tessa, but people knew. Mutual friends started DMing me, "OMG, this is you, right?" Chase must have seen it. He finally emailed me again. "Please stop this, you've made your point." My reply, a link to the next drop. This one called Block His Chain. Meanwhile, my lawyer was loving me. We were weeks away from finalizing the divorce. Full custody. He forfeited claim to the house. I kept the trust. He kept shame. We scheduled the court Zoom for a Tuesday morning. I wore red lipstick and a blazer over yoga pants. Classic divorce chic. Chase logged on late, disheveled, sweaty. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Taylor, are you in a car?" He coughed. I'm between places right now." I didn't react. Bella texted me during the hearing. Between dignity and delusion. After it ended, I walked to my balcony, wrapped in my grandma's old quilt, sipping coffee with oat milk, just breathing. It was over. Not the pain. That still lingered in tiny moments. When I heard a song we used to dance to, or saw a couple at Trader Joe's laughing by the flowers. But the fight, that part was done. Except there was one thing left. The holiday cards. I designed them in Canva. Happy holidays from the most unexpected family of the year. Photo 1, me with my son, arms wide, smiling. Photo 2, me with Bella, our friendship-turned-family portrait. Photo 3, me, my son, and the daughter Chase didn't know I found. Her name was Harper. She was 6, liked unicorns and peanut butter pretzels. Her mom had reached out after the BuzzFeed piece. Not angry, just tired. She sent me a voice note. "I know you don't owe me anything, but I figured you deserve to know your son has a sister. I didn't know about you when Harper was born. He told me he was divorced." I cried for 20 minutes. Then I wrote back, "Let's talk." We met at a Panera. The kids played with crayons. Harper called me Miss Mama and offered me a bite of her cookie. Her mom and I didn't become best friends, but we respected each other. There was something unspoken between us, two women picking up the same wreckage from opposite ends. So when the photographer asked, "Are you sure you want all 3 of them in the shot?" I said, "Absolutely. This is the whole damn point." When the cards arrived, I mailed one to Chase's last known address. Inside I wrote, "Legacy comes in layers. You pick the wallet, I pick the heart." I never heard from him again. The last I saw, he was trying to launch a podcast called Rebuilding After Public Slaughter. It had 3 episodes, 2 were rants, 1 was silence. Fitting. Me. I kept going. The Burn Wallet brand expanded. We did live events, launched a line of digital art journals, even held a gallery show in Brooklyn called X-Files. People brought their receipts, their stories, their pain. It was beautiful and raw and cathartic. One woman told me, "I left a man I thought I couldn't live without. You showed me I'd already survived." Looking back now, I don't think Chase ever planned to stay. I was just his first round of emotional investors. He kept me until the next shiny coin came along. But I'm not bitter. I'm better. Stronger, louder, clearer. And if you ever see an NFT titled Gas Fees for Grief, know this. It's me. Turning heartbreak into art. One chain at a time. They say closure is overrated. But I disagree. Closure isn't a dramatic final conversation, a neat bow-tied goodbye, or even a courtroom win. Sometimes it's quieter, stranger. Like watching your ex go viral, for all the wrong reasons. It happened a few months after the gallery show. Someone on TikTok stitched together Chase's podcast rants with clips from our NFT drops. They titled it, "Bro Invents New Ways to Lose a Family and Millions in 1 Year." It blew up. Over 3 million views in 48 hours. Thousands of comments. My favorite. Dude fumbled harder than crypto in 2022. Another one. Imagine losing 2 kids, 2 women, and becoming digital art. Peak clown era. I didn't laugh. I just closed the app, took a walk around the neighborhood with my son, bought him a blue ice cream he immediately dropped on the sidewalk. He cried. I bought another. Parenting is messy, but at least it's honest. At least it's real. Later that night, as I tucked him into bed, he looked at me with his giant hazel eyes and whispered, "Is Daddy still mad?" My heart squeezed. No, baby, he's just figuring stuff out. Which was sort of true. I didn't need him to be the villain anymore. He was just a man who got too clever, too greedy, and too careless with people who loved him. I had my own work to do, too. Forgiveness wasn't immediate, but it snuck in slowly. Like muscle memory returning after an injury. Like peace settling into a room that used to echo with tension. I started seeing someone new, not seriously, just walks, coffee, talking. He asked smart questions. Never once tried to explain crypto to me. I liked that. And Bella, she started teaching design at a community college and dating a chef who made the best risotto I'd ever had. They threw dinner parties where we laughed too loud and toasted to bad decisions turned beautiful. We never stopped building. Not just NFTs, but ourselves. One boundary. One truth. One step forward at a time. And Chase. Eventually, he sent one final message, a long one, full of pseudo-apologies, and I was confused, and you deserved better. I didn't reply. Instead, I minted a single-image NFT. A selfie. No makeup. Just me. Holding a sticky note that read, "Not for sale." It wasn't for the money, it never was. It was for me. My son. My future. My voice. We get to rewrite our stories. Even the messy chapters. Even the ones that begin with heartbreak. Especially those. So here I am. Still showing up. Still laughing at the worst jokes. Still crying over surprise Hallmark commercials. Still strong enough to let go. Still building. Because sometimes your ex makes you feel like a failed investment. But you were always the whole damn company. And the stock just split in your favor. Subscribe to my Mia's Stories YouTube channel for raw, emotional stories and authentic insights that encourage healing, growth, and understanding. Don't forget to be part of a supportive space where stories inspire and lessons resonate. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments. Your opinion truly matters to us, and we're here for you.